More than half the population around the world eats some form of flatbread, which is roti, which takes hours of making in the kitchen every single day. Whereas there are some machines that make fresh bread, there are none that make roti today. We'll tell you how you can make fresh, wholesome roti in just about a minute. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
We started as a group of engineers who were at NASA.
And we saw there was a potential to do something beyond what the market had available today.
We thought this is just a fantastic area where we could apply this philosophy into.
We want to give information and awareness to people, to government.
If you have given chance that you can do something, I think you cannot stop yourself.
Take any idea that you have to the next level.
Welcome to Tomorrow's World as we talk to Pranoti, the maker of Rotimatic and the brain behind it. It's exciting to find you here with this nice looking machine that churns roti in just about a minute, minute and a half. Pranoti, tell me about the journey.
Well, the journey started almost 9 years back, and me being a mechanical engineer and my co-founder being a software engineer, we came together to solve a really basic problem that we faced firsthand. So roti making for me especially was a very tedious, time consuming, and I couldn't puff my rotis every single time. So I think that's where the journey started. We were like, okay, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Somebody's got to fix this problem. So, you know, I'm a trained mechanical engineer and a product design engineer, and I was working for a company and I was doing a robotics project. And in my first job, I was very lucky and fortunate to get to see an entire product cycle, to take a concept from, you know, literally a drawing all the way to manufacturing. And I'm thinking, okay, what are the big problems can I fix on my own? And this was something firsthand. So when me and Rishi, we were brainstorming about it, that, you know what, and we were doing our research, we did not come across a single solution for this machine, which is fully automatic, where you're given full control over the ingredients, and it doesn't alter the process of roti making at all. So there it was, you know, the seed was there. I quit my job, and Rishi was doing his first startup, which later got acquired successfully, and after half of his lock-in period, he left some money and joined Zimplistic to, you know, work on the software layer of Rotimatic. And it's not just any other electromechanical device. It's got 10 motors, 15 sensors, and all these sensors send the data to a central system in the machine, and there is a Wi-Fi enability added on top of it. So it's a connected device, and because we are dealing with flour and water, and when they come together, it forms a very difficult mixture in terms of material science. It's very hard to know the exact proportion of flour and water. And there's a lot of seasonal variations, there's humidity in the air, particle size, there's just tons of variables that affect this proportion. And as a human, as the most complex machine, we do that as part of our human judgment. You know, there's tactile sensors in our hand, and so we keep adjusting the flour and water proportion to always get a good dough. But how do you build that into a machine? And that exactly was what is the machine learning aspect of Rotimatic. There's intelligence that had to be built, which was the software aspect. So
well, let me understand this. This is making roti from the atta, right?
The flour.
Yeah, you can put anything in there, which is maida, atta, whole grain.
Just your atta for now. As we go along, we'll be developing recipes for other types of flour. Okay. But what it essentially does is you put in your flour, you put in the water, and you put in the oil, and it basically does everything, right from measuring, dispensing, kneading. It makes the dough ball, rolls it into a flat disc, brings it forward, cooks it, puffs it, and kicks out a ready-to-eat garam roti in 90 seconds.
Making roti is a very complex process. You have to knead the dough,
yeah,
you have to put the right amount of water, and then you have to also flatten it in an exact round shape and in the
That's
right
just one
thickness.
Roti, right?
Yeah, right. So that whole complex thing of, you know, making the dough to making the flat roti and also baking it,
cooking it.
How did you simplify that into one machine?
So basically that's exactly, you know, making it at home by hand is something that it's very difficult for us to imagine in today's world where we are also working. So the whole idea of Rotimatic was I press a button, I make sure the ingredients are already in, I tell the machine what thickness, what roast level, how many rotis, and I walk away. And that's exactly what Rotimatic does. So I think from design perspective, when we started almost 9 years back, we had a few challenges, right? So first was it has to be fully automatic. Otherwise, me as a user, I wouldn't be very happy. Second, it should give me the control of the ingredients that go inside. It doesn't have a capsule, it doesn't have any particular constrained on what ingredients I put in. So I basically put in whatever atta I use. So if it's Pillsbury or Ashirwad or Sujata, whatever it is, I use the same flour to put inside this. The third thing, it had to be compact because it has to fit into my countertop. And the fourth thing is to be able to achieve the same quality of roti, the puffing of the roti, the softness maintained, to be able to achieve that at precision engineering with the consumer robotics cost. So we went into the research process of it, we went and saw a lot of these things, and we said, you know what, they have tried it in one manner, but they still haven't been able to do automatically all the, the constraints that I said. So then we were like, okay, what can we do? And I think the biggest breakthrough was we started thinking in terms of let's do one dough ball at a time. So it actually makes one dough ball at a time, right? It's not like if you have a family of 4 people and you want to make, let's say, 15 rotis, you make a big dough, right? And then you make small dough balls.
Correct.
Here we make one dough ball at a time.
And when you got the whole mechanics of it right, then you had to look at the material to use, because it had to be environment friendly, it had to be washable, it had to look cool, it had to have a good design to fit into the counter. So tell me all those aspects.
You do the design innovation and then you move it to a process where it goes into design for manufacturing. And then once it's done, you do the tooling for every part, because these are all uniquely designed parts for Rotimatic. And then you go through the manufacturing process of individual part. Then you put all the parts together, that's the assembly process. And then you do extensive qualification on the machine. Whereas every country has their own certification. So for US, there's UL, there's FDA, for UK, there's IEC, CE. All these certifications have to happen for the safety aspect of it. But then there's also a big portion of reliability testing that we need to do. We don't want to ship a product to your house which is dead on arrival, because in transportation there are a lot of vibrations it goes through, a lot of weather fluctuations on a freight. So we have to do all those testings and make the machine robust so that it arrives in your house in a perfectly ready state.
Well, where are you manufacturing this?
It's all done in Malaysia. So me and my co-founder and my husband, Rishi, we founded the company in Singapore because we've been living there for almost 18 years now. And the manufacturing is just across in Malaysia.
Well, there's so much to learn from you. You've accomplished one of the toughest tasks of making Rotimaker. When we come back, we're going to get into the journey of Pranati and Rotimaker. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, viewers, to Tomorrow's World. I'm your host, Ena Sarkar, and we are talking to Pranati of Rotimatic. We all have dreams. Some come to reality, some don't. But how do you really stick to your dream and put all your heart and soul and passion into it, and then finally have something looking like this come out in the market? Tell me the challenges behind this.
Well, I think the way we look at it is, I mean, challenges, we put those challenges on ourselves, right? So I think if you look at it from technology point of view, there have been a lot of the challenges of making sure that it's fully automatic, making sure that the nutrition aspect of it is kept intact for the user, giving him the freedom to choose the ingredients, making sure that it's affordable, compact. So those are the technical constraints.
But I'm very curious how this turns out and how easy or difficult it is. So we have the flour compartment here, the water compartment here, and the oil compartment. I believe once I started, they're all going to separately get dispensed and become a dough. So here we go.
Very soon.
So
7 seconds more.
All right, so we do that and we start making the rotis here.
So it does the detection first, making sure you have remembered to put the stirrer and the cup in.
Right.
So it's doing its initialization, making sure all the things are ready.
So let's try to imagine what's going on inside. The flour, water and the oil has all come down.
Now it's going to come down.
And
see there, right there.
And then the kneading process would just start.
It's going to detect the stirrer. It knows the stirrer is in place.
Okay.
There, you see the flour churning?
Right.
It's measuring the flour and dispensing it to the container,
Right.
to the kneading chamber.
And
That's
that's all
water.
the sensors working now. And you mentioned something like there are 12,
15 sensors
15
in
sensors.
the machine. Yep.
Okay, great. All the sensors are in action right now. And it takes about 90 seconds to
90
make
seconds.
one roti.
The first one will take slightly longer, but
And
the
you're
second
going to
one,
see it come out in that compartment. So you pay your attention
there,
here.
if you saw, it just did a correction. So on the go, it does real-time correction. The machine learning aspect of it, the flour and water coming together. If it feels that the flour or the mixture is too wet or soft or loose, it adds more flour to it.
Okay.
Or if it is too dry, then it adds more water to it while it's making that dough ball. So every single time you get a good dough ball.
And that would depend on the type of flour?
On the type of flour, the humidity in the air, the particle size of the flour, the fiber content, the grain, various factors. What happened just now was the dough ball was ready. It moved to the back of the pans where it got pressed at a very, very low temperature to retain the moisture of the roti. Then it got pushed there, right there, you got your roti.
Okay.
Now that's when it's going to start cooking it, and watch right there because the puffing is going to happen. And while it's doing that, the second dough ball is getting ready.
Okay.
And you can already smell the roti. There it is.
Wow. It came out now, and I'm going to pick this up. This is puff. And try to see how this is. This is really good. It's hot, it's soft, and let me try to eat it now. Okay, I'm going to do this. Indeed, it's really soft, fluffy, kind of melts in your mouth. It's a great invention. My God, congratulations. This is awesome. Welcome back to Tomorrow's World. You just saw me eat that piece of fluffy, nice, soft roti. It was quite exciting to see that come out of the machine. Let's delve deep into how it's made. We have Pranati. Tell me more about the conception and the software. Your husband is making an app that connects to the machine so that you can even make your roti remotely. Tell me more about that.
So Rotimatic comes with that feature. It's already rolled out to thousands of users, and they are using this feature where we live in a connected world, the IoT world, and Rotimatic also is IoT enabled. What that means is Rotimatic has a Wi-Fi built into it. So with the app, you connect your Rotimatic to the home Wi-Fi, and then it gets connected to the cloud. So what happens is with that, you get three basic use cases, features. One is you can remotely control the machine, which I think is a usual thing, normal thing. You log into the machine remotely and do certain actions with it. Second is if you have any issues with the machine, any questions, any doubts, there's in the app itself there's a chat feature. So that's something which is very different, which nobody has done that before. We've inbuilt the chat in the app, so it's instant customer support. And what that means is if you have any issues, our customer support can log into your machine real time and fix the issue for you. And the third thing is rolling out of new feature sets. So it's a firmware upgrade, software upgrade that will happen over the cloud at a regular beat, in which we will be expanding the whole versatility of Rotimatic, making it do puri, just a dough ball. Those are the features which are being rolled out. You'll also be able to do other recipes like tortilla, other kinds of flatbread, wraps, flavored stuff, attas mixed together, like besan mixed with atta to make a missy roti. So things like that are going to happen because of that connectivity. It's already happening.
Well, what I love about this is that you are bridging cutting edge technology and taking us back to basics of making fresh roti, which is the best part of it. You're using technology to take us back to our mom's homemade rotis. But tell me more about this app. What else can it do? Of course, it can give a remote control to produce it like at the time I want.
Yeah, so you will be able to sort of schedule a roti making cycle, or you will be able to, you're sitting at your dining table and the machine is in the kitchen, you can order another roti. You know, like your mom is trying to, you know, make you eat one extra roti, you could do that from your app. But the whole point of the roti is it has to be eaten garam garam, hot, while it's, you know, just off the pan, because it's made out of whole wheat, and whole wheat has all the fiber, and you need to consume it immediately for the best taste, which is how we grew up.
And I saw that. I mean, it was lovely eating it right then and there. Yeah. It just melted in my mouth. Now, so you say that you can schedule to get it, make it ready before you even get home. Yeah. So which means the machine has to be fed with all the flour, the water, and the oil.
Definitely.
In the morning, and then you can remotely make it. I mean, that's a lovely feature to have. Did you factor anything that could go wrong with this machine while it's in someone's kitchen top?
Absolutely. So it's a robot. It's a smart robot, but at the same time, we have to take care of the safety aspect of the user. So there's an extensive qualification that happens behind the scenes for any product that gets launched in the market. The engineering aspect of it has to take care of the certifications of the country, the safety aspects, the usability aspect of it. You know, it's something that is going to be widely used. It's one of those products which is like a, you know, washing machine concept. You know, nobody washes clothes by hands anymore. We hope that people will start making rotis with Rotimatic and never look back. It's a robot. It replaces a human.
Well, I mean, the journey has been a tough one, but a very rewarding one, I must say. What has been the aha moment for you? I mean, what has been that moment that, oh yes, I got it?
There was one moment when my parents and my grandparents were traveling to Singapore, and I showed them the initial working prototype, and I actually made a roti in that machine, and the roti puffed up completely, and I think that was an aha moment, especially when my grandmother took it and had a bite of it, and she couldn't tell the difference between a handmade roti and a Rotimatic roti. So for me, that was the best certificate of, you know, endorsement of quality and the engineering of it. That was one aha moment, and I guess along the way there have been many such moments. Every time we hit a wall and we cross it with a solution, there's an aha.
So what has been your biggest learning from this journey? Let's say from the time you started to now, what you did not know then that you know now?
Heard this somewhere and really struck a chord with me is that, you know, the perspective towards life, you got to be sincere towards life and you don't need to be serious. So I think that's something which I sort of follow, and I think
sincere but not serious. I like it.
Yeah, don't be serious about life but be sincere. So I think that really helps in every small and big way. And I think having a kid is a big stress buster. You know, the moment you see him, you are compelled to leave work behind and, you know, just be in the moment and focus on your child. And, you know, they're so engaging that you have no choice but to be in the moment. I think that's a great...
But you have a very demanding job and you have a 4-year-old at home. Tell me more about that. How is that working out for you?
So I think, you know, I have to tell you, I have to, you know, count my blessings on this, because, you know, the whole family has come together to help us, you know, build this product, and we are on a mission, right? So, and along the way, we also want to balance the, being a woman, you need to make sure you have kid at the right time, and, you know, of course, those are priorities. That's what we are here for, to extend the experience of life. And I think that has been one thing, you know, our family has been the biggest support system for us.
Do you worry about anything? Does anything keep you awake at night? Because you have this huge amount of backlog demands, I think 3,500 or something like that, right? Does anything worry you about it?
So, you know, every phase of the company, there's something that will sort of give you sleepless nights. In the beginning, it was the whole design. Okay, what can I do to, you know, make this work? You know, what is the design? You know, the aha, the eureka moment. So those were the sleepless nights, but those are good ones because you're imagining the product you're trying to design.
Anything keeps you awake at night?
Right now, we've just crossed the phase where the product is launched in the market. People are loving it, so that stress is gone away, that worry is gone away. Now it's more about how do we scale, how do we build a better management layer that can make this company into a bigger company. Every aspect of the company, we want to make sure we give excellent customer support. We do good partnerships with our logistics or set up the right processes in the company, start looking into the next, what is next. So I think those are the ones, but they're not really worry points, but something that you want to start looking into.
I just love it. The world will love it very soon. What are the 3 pros and 3 cons of doing that with your husband, your life partner, your business partner, all in this one man?
So I think it's hard to answer in a pros and cons manner because, it's a double-edged sword. While we get to spend all the time together, we don't miss each other, but then you're all the time together. So sometimes it can be, we have no other topic but Rotimatic. So,
well, this must have been a phenomenal journey for both you and your husband to leave this world a little better place than before you guys came around. I'm sure next time when we talk to you, we'll have more products, Currymatic, Rotimatic, and maybe something else. It was wonderful talking to you today. Well, I loved eating some of those warm, fresh, wholesome rotis, but I don't know how the market is going to like it at a $1,000 price tag. We'll wait and watch. And I'm going to see you again next week, same time, same place on Tomorrow's World. Don't forget to tune in then.